JPT sub, everyone. Another Oxford layout update. So when last we looked at it, I had removed the whole top from it. So the next thing we're going to do is start putting the top on it. I think I've got all the pieces I need to do this with. So we've got, first we'll start with the two end pieces. The two pieces are on here now. They're not attached. I'm just setting them on here, but one here. And then if you follow all the way down to the end, there's one right here. So next is the first of the two center boards. Okay, so here we have board one here, and you can see there's a little gap at the back here. For there's a canal at that end of the Oxford station, and then up at this end there'll be the gap here, which is the street that goes under. So we'll put this next piece on. Okay, there you have it with both parts on there now, the ends there, and right here we have a about a 5-inch gap, and it's about 4 inches deep, so that should give me plenty of room to work there for vertical height for that road. Plus it'll have another roughly 1/2 inch on top of here when I put the styrofoam on top of that, the foam board on there. So I'm gonna just double check my measurements and everything here, and then the next thing will be to screw this down and attach it, and then we'll work on the foam sheet. All right, so this piece is attached now. Everything, all the wood's attached here. This is this room's climate controlled and doesn't see big swings in humidity. If anything, it stays warm and dry in here because I'm always cold. Anyway, what's next up will be then to cut the styrofoam to go on the top, and we'll kind of cut it close to size, glue it on, and then we'll use the hot wire tool just to trim it down and neaten it up a little bit. Okay, I know it almost looks like still shots, but I am really working on stuff here. So next we're going to take this stuff off the top of the off the layout and put a piece of styrofoam up there and make sure that it's wider than what it is. Then probably glue it and weight it. Okay, we got our big piece of styrofoam here. It's going to go up here. And you can see it's definitely wider. It's also a little bit shorter, but I'm going to have to cut it to account for these blocks anyway. So that's going to be my next thing, is slice it this way a little bit just to bring it down. So that's next. Okay, so we got our gap cut down at the other end there. More than long enough at this point. So we're going to set this down off the edge here, just like you see there, and then I'm going to glue it on, weight it down, and then when it's dry, then I'll cut out these pieces and trim that piece up at the far end down there, right here. Well, there. All right, that should be putting some glue on should be fairly simple here, and I'm not big on being on camera, so that's why you guys are seeing it in little chunks instead of watching me walking around out here doing this work. So next up is glue. Here's what it looks like with the glue down, and I probably should have used caulk, but I had glue. I didn't have any caulk handy, so just went with some Elmer's glue, and it'll hold it down just fine. So I'm gonna throw the sheet of styrofoam up here. So we'll throw it on there, and then we'll put some weights on it. So that's going to be our next task. Here it is weighted down now. Styrofoam's on. The glue's got to dry. It's probably going to take it a day or so to dry. Obviously, it's something you guys won't won't have to suffer through, because it'll be just a few seconds for you after hearing me ramble here for a minute. But it's flush against this back side here, all the way down. So it'll just be trimming here and cutting out those sections once it's dry to make it fit. And this was intentionally original cut bigger so that it would I could cut it with the wire cutter to contour it to the wood, and it line up better. Should look better in the end. I'm using photo albums to weight it down here. As you guys can see, we'll just train pictures. It's just a fraction of my photo collection here out. Each one of these books has about 600 pictures in it, and there's a lot more of them. So obviously I've been rail fanning since the mid 80s, early 80s. So tons of pictures. I used to always do the print. Now it's digital, and digital was a godsend and the worst thing that could ever happen to me, because I'm not spending a fortune getting pictures printed, but at the same time I take way more pictures than I used to. So sorting pictures when I do go rail fanning is an adventure after I'm back. But for you guys that watch the channel pretty regular, I know I have followers that follow the rail fan content and followers that follow the modeling content. I don't know how many of you guys cross over between the two. If you do, there's the BNSF fan out rail fanning in the 80s and 90s videos. That's kind of correlates to a lot of these pictures. There's current day rail fanning as well, so a little something for everybody out there if you're train related anyway. Models, real trains, old, new, steam, diesel, a little bit of everything. So and even a little bit from some friends who are no longer with us that gave me their collections to share. So anyway, just a little plug for the other part of the channel. But we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll in just a minute for you guys on here, and we'll take these off and make sure it's on solid, and then do the trimming, and then we'll be ready to probably. I think I'm going to pull this there's just like a thin veneer of plastic on here just to protect it. I'll pull it off and we'll paint it before we put the station stuff back on top. Okay, here we have the weights off now. Got our styrofoams glued down good and solid. Next thing is we're going to I'm going to pull this sheet off all the way down, and then we'll start cutting here. We'll get the hot wire tool and everything out. Okay, we got the plastic pulled off. We got our hot wire tool out, the first of two hot wire tools that we're going to be using on this. This one's the Woodland Scenics hot wire tool with the straight edge on it. It works when you push the button forward, it starts heating the wire up. So you can see it cuts pretty good there. So we'll just let it, just that first little bit there. This piece that goes here, we're going to use the other tool for it, but I'm going to continue my way down and cut this off flush here, and then we'll look at the other tool that I'm going to be using. All right, here we go. And there you have it. We're done with the first part of the cut here. See, that's cut nice, and it's a little rough there. Maybe a little trim up down there at the farther, like where am I say, right about here. It's a little rough there. I've got to trim that up a little bit maybe, but otherwise it cut really good. So we're going to move on to cutting out these pieces next. I'll get the other hot wire tool and let you take a look at it first. Okay, here's my other hot wire tool. I got this one on Amazon a while back, so you can see it's I guess what we're going to use is just this rod part, but it also had a wire cut part section that I could have used, but since this one's neater and cleaner and I didn't want to snag it on anything, I didn't want to use it on this wood. It also comes with a shorter rod and then a hook-shaped one, which I'm not sure what the difference between the hook gets you and this gets you really, but unless maybe carving. But anyway, so we're going to use that. We're going to cut these pieces out this way and maybe trim up that little spot down there. So here we go. And I will, by the way, I'll put a link in the description to this on Amazon. So if anybody's interested in checking it out, you sure can. Okay, there we go. Everything's cut now. And I think we're ready to put a little paint on this thing now. And in case anybody's wondering, yes, I did turn a fan on to suck the fumes out of the room, kept it well ventilated, and I tried to stay in the opposite side of the cutters from the direction the smoke was drifting so that I didn't minimize what I breathed in on this stuff, because I know it's not good to breathe the fumes off of the white foam. Not good to breathe off any of it, but especially the white foam. So anyway, this is cut. I'm going to clean up this mess. We'll get some paint, and I'll show you what paint I'm going to use on it, and then we'll throw some paint on it. After picking up the trash and cleaning up the floor and everything else, all the mess that I made cutting styrofoam, got a smaller brush. I could use a bigger one, but I'm just going to use the small one because it's already been used and don't have to mess up another one. Now this Craftsmart paint, if you live in the U.S., this is like Michael's. Walmart sells a brand Apple Barrel. Hobby Lobby has some other ones. I'm sure you guys over in the UK and Europe have similar brands, just basic craft paint, super cheap. I'm using this one because it's actually no telling how old. It's really old, but it's still liquidy, so you know, probably needs to be used up and replaced anyway, because it's, like I said, it's super old. So I don't feel like I'm wasting anything, and even if I did, I mean, these bottles are, for just the basic colors, are like $1 here, so yes, less than a pound. So not bad at all. We're going to use that to cover this up. Just a base coat. It's not really meant for anything other than just to keep, if I miss a spot on scenery or chip the scenery, once I put it on, there'll be something under it that's not white. So here we go with this. All right, here you go. You can see we got a good start going on here, and now that I'm realizing how long this is taking with this little smaller brush, I'm going to get a bigger brush because it's taking forever. But I'm probably going to paint like what you see, half, and then kind of scoot this out away from the layout and come down the other side so I can paint the edges too. So that's where we're at the moment. All right, we got a coat of paint on it. You can obviously see there's a little bit of two tones on it. It's also still wet, but yeah, I ended up using a second bottle that I had. So 2 bottles of paint, nothing, not really that much, but it's got all the top and the edges all the way around painted gray, so that should help a lot. We'll give it 24 hours to dry, and then we'll be back to start moving the stuff back up on top, and once we get that back kind of where it should go, or where it was, maybe I can start making some actual real progress on this again. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to it. I've finished a bunch of stuff over on the main layout that I've been working on for a bit, wanted to do this year, and I've got more to go, but it was a good stopping point to take a break and do something different so I didn't get burnt out on one thing or the other. But we'll see this stuff get put back up on the top of the layout, and then we'll wrap this video up. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying just this piecemeal redo. So we'll be back in a minute with it'll be tomorrow for me, but back in a second for you guys to put the stuff up on top. All right, here we go. We got the Oxford sign back on the front here, so that means we're back in business. It's time to start putting things up on the top of the up on top. First up is some track sections, kind of laid out there. Now just start clipping them together. All right, all that's clipped together, so now we'll start putting the pieces of the buildings back up here. That way we'll know how to kind of arrange the track where it really needs to go. And obviously the station itself, the star of the show, is the first building to come back up. So next up we got our platform, from this end of the station, the left-hand platform. These are probably going to be too wide, but I'm going to use some rulers here to kind of judge my track spacing as I go down. I may look and see if I have a narrower one to do, just because I really don't think I need that much space between them, but we're going to try it and see. All right, almost there. Last little bit to just kind of turn them over to see how it looks, and we'll be back to where we were before we started taking anything apart. All right, there you have it. Everything's back where it was. These rulers here are just about 1.5 inches wide. And I've got about a 1/2 inch down this side, so that's the extra spacing I was looking for. This will actually give me more room for the traffic that would be on the front side, the buses and the taxis, the road going up to the parking lot there, stuff like that. So that was one of the things I was hoping to accomplish. And then farther down, it gives me more room for that building and possibly just a little bit of greenery down at the far end and a little bit up at this end. So one of the things I got to research is to see if how far I am from here to here, if that's needs to be closer down or not. And if there's any, I think, remember right, there's like a tree here and like a bicycle parking. The hill kind of slopes down to this level here, and I don't remember what was on this side. I'll have to do some reference pictures and stuff to see what was on this side. I know this side had some green right at the end of the platform and right here, so we'll put that in too. So that's where we're at, and that's going to wrap up this video. May stage a couple of trains on it before I shut the video down here, just for you guys to see us train back in the station. And then, matter of fact, I'll do that. Let's do that real quick before I wrap it up. How about a Class 158 pulled into the station there for our train action for this video, even though it's all been billed and no trains. So far, like I said, it's back to where it was before I redid the base here. The base is, everything feels just right now when I set everything back on the up on the base here, so that's really good. The bridge piece here is going to be just easy to do here, so we'll come back to that. But next up is figure out, like I said, fill in the seams on the canopies and getting them touched up, cut out the skylights, finish painting the windows and get the glass in them. Figure out the brick color here. That's going to be a tricky one. Doors are easy coloring. There's a building way back here. It's got to get painted and glass in it. The crosswalk over the track there, that's a signature part of the station, so that'll be something we're going to do next as well. I'm still not sure about a building here. I think if I do make something, it'll be removable, so if I want to do pictures this way I can, or if I want to do pictures this way, they'll have to be down, but it'll give it a different look. So I'm still kicking that idea around, and once I get a little bit more done here, then I'll start working that way on the building and parking lot and stuff. I do like that I'll be able to have some traffic, more room for a few more vehicles back here, and that should keep me busy for a while here. And I still have some projects on the layout back here on the back side of where that grain elevator is to do. So between that and this, there's plenty of stuff to come. And Wade, love to hear any comments you guys have on how this is going, or what you think about how it looks. And I guess then we'll see you right here at Oxford next time on the JPT Sub.